Podcast.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Read Reviews Podcast. We have downgraded.
All the way down.
Yeah, so we downgraded a lot. I'm a bum and I don't have a laptop.
Can they even hear us, dude?
Yeah.
It's on the,
Of course it can. It's going to sound a lot worse. It's not going to be great for a podcast.
Oh well.
But
I'll tell you, do you want to use? I have a brand new phone. If you want to use mine,
it's going to be the same.
fine.
It's not going to make enough of a difference. But basically, we were just recording off my phone. Usually, I always do the video off of my phone, but we have the mic, we had the recording set up with the computer. But I don't have a laptop because I'm a bum, so I've been using Dilly Dillies, who was the producer for the last couple weeks, and he's MIA.
What is he driving?
What is he driving?
Yeah,
Rental car. Yeah,
that's hilarious.
it's
Okay.
paid for.
Okay.
But yeah, so now we're just recording off my phone. But we are doing an impromptu, our second ever podcast recording after watching a movie directly. We just
I'm part of
came.
both of them too.
What? Yeah, you're part of both. Of them too. You're on a lot of the podcasts now. This is what, 4?
Three-peat. I did it. Kansas City Camp. Just saying.
Is it 3 or is it 4?
3 in
He
a
said
row.
at least 3.
Three-peat. I did the last 3 in a row.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Damn. Good job.
Well,
yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. Because you did the one with Cody, we did the one without Cody. Now we got this one,
Yeah.
and then you were on.
Yeah, that was like way before.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're downgraded. I apologize for the audio. It's going to be a little bit ass, but we wanted to do an impromptu movie review. You've seen the title, but it's Captain America: New World Brave. It's had a lot of different names, but it's Brave New World now.
It's Captain America versus Hulk.
Yeah, Captain America. Well, not really though. That's something I kind of like.
Until like the last time around.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a little spoiler-free section just at the beginning, just a quick kind of overview of what we thought of them, and then we'll kind of go and do a little bit more of a spoiler part, just talk about our opinions on it and what we thought about it. We're fresh out the theater, so it's kind of perfect.
Yep.
We're gonna start by just kind of. I just want to ask Cody, just for kind of the audience sake. Cody isn't much of a Marvel person, but what's kind of like your
many-
history with Marvel? How many of them
So,
have you seen?
I went to midnight premiere of the original Avengers.
Yeah,
Okay.
naturally.
I saw all like the Iron Man, like the original whatever first phase. Is that what you call it?
Yeah, just phase 1.
Yeah. I saw all that and enjoyed it. I wasn't like a diehard or anything. I will
Yeah.
say I think I remember seeing Age of Ultron on my birthday with Quest.
Sick.
I fell asleep during it because I was so tired. But I like those. I remember and I've seen Endgame and Infinity War and all that stuff and saw that finish and enjoyed it. I thought it was really cool. It was good to be like at the time. I think it was cool to see these things in theaters because it was the first of its kind to do this elongated. You got to commit a little bit of effort, to like know everything that's going on and all these
I
characters.
still think the only one to do like a universe.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, there's DC, I guess.
with this
tried.
with this much content and money put in, and an actual like how many movies and TV shows are there? It's like
The Infinity Saga's coherent too. Like
we've never
DC's
seen
not.
stuff like this, but I'm not. Marvel movies are not my thing these days. Like I definitely just think they're pretty basic and cookie cutter, I guess.
We'll
And
get into that.
yeah, there's just not a lot for me. I'm not a superhero guy. Didn't read comics growing up, so like I'm not invested into it like I know a lot of people are. But I did go into this with like the idea of like, hey, haven't seen one of these movies in Lord knows how long.
I was gonna ask what the last one you've seen is. That you've
Dude,
seen.
probably
Like a new one?
Endgame or is that
So
Endgame.
6 years.
Did you see the new Spider-Man with the 3
No Way Home.
different
Tobey
ones?
Maguire.
I did see that.
That one was still 20. That one was still
Also,
2019.
The Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, I think, stick out on their own as very enjoyable, and I think you can enjoy those without having to know everything else that's going on, and you can still get a really good time out of
Yeah,
it.
they definitely have like added, if you have seen, especially the Iron Man's because he has a lot of relationships. Like,
Yeah.
you can see them by themselves, and they're so very good.
Yeah, and I at least know like Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man and this one, so I did get a kick out of like, oh, all 3 Spider-Mans coming. I like that. I thought it was cool bringing the old villains. It actually like they got me to buy in.
Yeah.
With how they set it up and how it worked out in the end, I was bought in.
No
And I
Way
didn't-
Home was dope.
Yeah, I didn't need to be, but they got me in.
So that's probably the last one that you've seen. And yeah, Cody's not super deep into it, but we impromptu. I usually like Gavin and I don't do it as much anymore because, like I said, we'll get into it. Marvel's not what it used to be.
Yeah.
But we used to go to like every midnight premiere of
I
the Marvel
think
movies.
up to Endgame, me and Reed had seen the last 12 or 13 at midnight release. Not midnight, but the Thursday night release.
The night before release bullshit.
Whatever you can see it. Really.
We saw like pretty much all of them. I don't think we really missed any for a long time.
Yeah.
All the Tom Holland Spider-Man.
It was manageable back then too. It's
Yeah.
not manageable.
Yeah, they've only added more and more to keep up.
That's the part of the problem.
Yeah.
So I hit up Gavin. I was like, dude, I kind of want to go see this movie. Do you want to go see it on Thursday? And he's like, yeah. And then I texted Cody. I was like, obviously you're on the podcast, so I want to ask you too. But I know you don't really like these Marvel movies. Do you want to come with? He's like, yeah, fuck it, I'll go with. So
I didn't know he
that's
was
why.
going to be here. I walked in the theater. I'm like,
Oh,
shit,
really?
Cody's sitting by us.
Well, yeah, Matt didn't put him in the group chat. I guess it wasn't a group chat. Matt texted me and Matt and said, "Oh, we're at Twiggs or whatever." And then I realized when I was scrambling trying to leave work to get there on time, I was late to the movie. By the way,
You were
I saw
there
that Cody
before.
wasn't. I was there before the movie started, but the movie was supposed to start at 7:30. Granted, there's the commercials and everything, and I got there at like 7:55 because I got hung up at work. But anyways, that's beyond the point. So that's why Cody ended up going in here, and why I kind of wanted him to give you his rundown of like kind of his Marvel stuff, because he's going to be kind of the non-bigger Marvel fan, and I guess Gavin and I are kind of in that boat now too, because it's just kind of sucked ass recently.
I'm the guy who knows nothing.
Yeah.
Like, I
Which will be
don't
fun
have-
to talk about the Hulk stuff with that.
Yeah, like I don't really know much, so.
I'm kind of mad I didn't watch She-Hulk. Did you watch that?
I did watch She-Hulk. That
Does
was
it have anything to do? No? Okay. That's what
kind of, not really though. Yeah, so I guess Gavin and I haven't seen everything. I've seen most things. I haven't seen the Marvels. I didn't watch She-Hulk. I didn't watch Secret Wars or whatever, Secret Invasion or whatever that was.
Yeah.
I think that's about it that I haven't seen.
I haven't seen the last like 3 TV shows, which is I think the Marvels.
Loki season 2?
No, I've seen Loki season 2. The freaking 2 you just said too. She-Hulk and the other one.
Oh, and Secret Invasion?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of our background with the Marvel stuff, and I was kind of excited about this movie. I saw trailers. I know this movie has been a shit show in production, and is one of the most expensive movies of all time because of that. This movie, this thing has gone through reshoots. They had to cancel character. They had to get rid of it. They kind of turned the Israeli character into just that chick instead of making her the full superhero. There's an Israeli superhero that was supposed to be in this movie, and then the war in Israel stuff broke out, and they got cut her out of the whole movie, basically, of course. So they made kind of that Scarlet Witch chick into her because they said, oh, she's Israeli. She's the Israeli Black Widow or whatever. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. I don't know all the details. I don't even know what that hero is. It was just a YouTube video I watched. But
Gotcha.
this movie had a couple of different directors, I believe, had to do massive reshoots, basically turned into a different movie. Like I said, it's had 2 or 3 different names, I'm pretty sure, too. So this movie's pushing almost 400 mil, they're estimating,
Damn.
which is insanity because that is more than Endgame. There's some inflation in there, COVID inflation, but still, it should not be the same as Endgame.
No, not even close.
So yeah, this movie's expensive as fuck, and I think we'll get into it. But I want to start by just kind of going over a quick, just give it like a couple minute synopsis of what you thought watching the movie without saying any spoiler stuff. We'll start with Kevin. Go.
I liked it more than I thought. I didn't really have high hopes just because it's Marvel. Love Harrison Ford, so that obviously helps a lot. And then
Dude, he was old. He's so old.
he's super old. I was
He's
just
a Blue Rider
watching
talk.
Star Wars, and he looks old in that, and he looks even older in this. But still love him. Freaking my favorite actor, like hands down. I don't
He's
think
up
he's
there,
like
for
the
sure.
best actor. He's my
cute.
favorite actor. That's hilarious. Will say wasn't a huge fan of the didn't have high expectations. Don't think the new guy being Captain America is my favorite role
Anthony Mackie.
Yep.
not even anything against him. It's just the whole I
The
don't think
idea.
it's a good character. It's not like he's not a good actor. I just don't like the actual.
He's
thing.
actually a great actor.
Yeah, I think he's a great actor.
We'll talk about that. We'll get some spoiler stuff.
It was different, a lot different than I thought. I thought Hulk was going to be in it. Red Hulk was going to be in the movie a lot more than he was. And then I thought their adamantium was going to be in it way more than it was.
It was
way
basically not.
more. It was pretty, not great. And then only other overall, I thought it was really good without going into spoilers. Better than I thought. I'd probably even put it at like a 8 out of 10.
Whoa, okay.
Put it up there. It was one of my more favorable Marvel movies I've seen lately.
Recently, yeah.
Yeah.
Granted, that's not a high bar, but
Mhm.
Cody, for you, I'm excited to hear this because the movie ends with what Kendrick song was it?
Uh,
I have no idea.
I Love Myself. Was it?
Isn't it just called I?
Yeah, was it that?
Yeah,
I
I think-
Love Myself. That was the credit song, and Cody goes, "Dude, this is the best part of the movie." And I was like, "Oh fuck." Okay.
I heard him
So,
say that, and I was
Cody-
like, Cody didn't vibe, huh?
Cody, what are your thoughts on this movie?
I mean, like I said, I don't know a lot going in, so I guess that doesn't help. But as someone who's also just like wants to go to the movies and happens to like look at a poster and is like, oh hey, look at this. This doesn't look bad.
Yeah.
It felt I was so like disoriented the whole movie
Because there's
like,
too much.
well, it just kind of starts, and you're just
It does start.
you're just like going, and they're not telling you anything. That's part of it, I guess, because you're not supposed to fully know some stuff, but yet the trailer shows. This is what I was talking. Like
Yeah.
the trailer shows the Red Hulk.
It'd be so cool if they didn't show it.
That's
Red Hulk in the
exactly
trailer.
that's exactly what I said.
Especially with how long they took.
I thought it would have been someone who wouldn't have known that going in. I actually would have gotten a kick out of, oh shit, what the fuck? Harrison Ford's turning into the Hulk.
It
This
would
is
have
kind of
been
crazy.
a really cool surprise not to know that.
Yeah,
But
I think it would have helped me more to not see that in the trailer for one. I get it. You gotta market. What did they market? A Red Hulk.
Mhm.
This is the only thing I can think of when I think of this movie. It's not even Anthony Mackie as Captain America. It's Harrison Ford as the Red Hulk.
It is all over the market.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I struggled to keep up at times. Like a lot of the stuff I was just trying to figure out why. Why are we doing this? What does this matter? Captain America's helping out the president. Why do I give a fuck?
That I could see how that stuff is going to be so confusing for you not knowing.
yeah, I
the
feel like there
concept.
is.
Yeah.
And the recasting, that's going to be even worse for you because there's
Yeah.
several recasted characters.
Yeah, so there's certain things. It's like when characters come in and I know some of them and I'm like, oh fuck, what's going on? Like,
Yeah.
which movie am I supposed to be watching right now? It's a little hard. I think the action is still good, but it all feels the same in those movies too. To me, at times.
It's better when they're more grounded movies, I will say that.
Yeah.
Like when it's
Yeah.
not full CG fest.
Yeah, I think I struggle with seeing like the one man army who then isn't a one man army, of course, when he doesn't need to, when it's time to make him look smaller for a high tension moment. Those kind of things where it's like,
Like when he fought the big guy.
yeah,
I was like, no,
that
no.
that was
I
a
hate when they
that
do
was a like I don't
he should have that. Yeah, we'll get into.
I don't like that. I don't like the like. What did the chick say? Well, are you really gonna be that guy? And he like thinks about it. He's like,
Yeah.
I am that guy. I literally like rolled my eyes so many times just because I'm not bought in. So how do you get someone to buy in who's not? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's tough. So it's
They probably don't. They don't care. They have their audience.
That's
probably why.
That's
Yeah,
kind of the
it
thing.
sucks.
Is they're
but-
making money still doing this because enough people do care and are keeping up and are still going to watch.
Yeah.
And it's not me, so it is hard for me to just jump in and be like,
It is trying to
Yeah.
like for you to be it's such a like ticket of entry of like, hey, I want to jump in and watch these movies. You're gonna enjoy them so much less because you can't put all these little pieces together. And then even worse, just like you're just confused. Like you just don't know what's going on.
some of it can just be very confusing at times where you're trying to put pieces together that you guys know and you're
Yeah.
like, oh, I know that.
To
And
be honest, I don't think I had like a single like, oh yeah, who's that guy? No, it was just all like
yeah.
right there.
So for most of it,
Remember all of it.
I'm just along for the ride, and there's those moments where they're trying to hit you with like emotion, and I'm like, who's Isaiah Bradley? I don't.
That's a big
That
one.
was-
That's a big one.
See, it's like I don't.
That's a
fucking-
huge one.
Who the fuck is this?
Yeah,
guy?
that's got to be so like, dude, they're making this so emotional and so intense.
And I
have
don't
no
give
idea
a
what's
like.
Yeah.
I'm not attached to this dude in
I love that
any
stuff,
way.
to be
So-
honest, he's not
so-
even in things very much. Like they don't
He's
show
only
him.
in the show.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, has he been in stuff before that?
He's in the Captain America and Winter Soldier TV
So
show.
it's like that. Yeah, that's tough. They're pulling emotional,
That's tough.
emotional things, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, who the fuck are you?
He's the
Who the
original-
fuck is that guy?
like-
do you want to give it a number? You don't have to. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit if you give it numbers.
I can as for someone who's just the non-fan going to see it, being like, maybe this will be a good time. It's hard to go above like a 5 for me.
That's about what I would guess. And that makes sense, especially
Just because it's not a bad movie. Like,
yeah,
it's not bad, but
mid as fuck.
it's so mid that like you're just sitting there kind of like, okay, all right, sure. I guess.
So much of that.
I will say the things that won me over are like super niche, and then I forgot about other things. That I'm like, yeah, that part was bad, but I'm gonna look past that because
That's
that's really
right.
like these other parts.
I'm the guy who I'm gonna latch onto every bad thing,
Yeah.
and I have no clue what those are. So
Yeah.
it makes sense. I come with a grain of salt on my opinion. I get like. I think most people who know me probably could have told you what I would have thought of this probably before.
I would have guessed that you'd say 5 out of 10 going into it.
Yeah.
Unless it was like a sneaky, really good one.
Yeah.
We'll go into me here. I like this movie. This movie was a good time, and I think that's what the nice part about the Marvel universe of where it's at right now is you do not have expectations. Whereas before they were on the downfall, you had really high expectations. So especially when the bad ones are coming out, you're like, dude, this is what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
But now you go in kind of, unfortunately, going in expecting some shit. And I went in there and I was like, I like the story that they're putting through. I like the bad guy. You wouldn't really know about the bad guy. I guess you kind of would, but I like the bad guy. I like that they finally brought him back. I thought it was cool. Like his character. I like bad guys that have to do thinking stuff a little bit and like how it works. Like the dude, and they hide him for a while. He does have a lot of stupid fucking one-liner things where he's just like. I can't even think of one that he says, but it has like the loud music and kind of the slow pan on his face, and then he says something.
Yeah.
Just the one-liner. I'm like, okay, we don't need to do this cheesy.
He also
villain
just
shit like
shows
5
up
times. He does. He just teleports
the
everywhere.
most convenient times
Yeah,
in
but he-
high military areas
But
He's got a big brain.
with
he does.
just a fucking hood on.
Yeah, he's got big brain.
That's
big
so
brain,
crazy.
Big brain boy. Harrison Ford actually I thought did a pretty damn good job, and he was in it way more than I thought. Anthony Mackie is a good actor, but I'm never gonna buy him as the whole Captain America and everybody walking around calling him the Cap thing. It's
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't know what.
Even as
He
the
should
non-fan, the non-fan knows that Steve
Yeah.
Rogers is Captain America.
Yeah, he should
Like-
just be the Winter Soldier, or not the Winter Soldier,
Falcon.
the Falcon, and like just
Yeah.
make him. Like just put him in this, like just I don't. The calling him, it's never gonna work for me. It's
I
always
think
gonna be
I'd
weird.
buy,
And feel weird.
I'd buy in more if this was called
The
the
Falcon.
Falcon,
Yeah,
Brave
that-
New World.
And it's just something
Straight
that,
up.
like it's battle between nerds on the internet or whatever. Because there's nerds who are like,
Yeah, this
you know,
gets
you,
into, like,
you guys don't want him to be this or be that or whatever, just because
Yeah.
he's like the
It's like-
racism card, whatever, because he's black or whatever.
I don't know the
I'm like,
comics,
and,
so
they,
it's
and
like
this,
I don't know.
This stuff happens in the comics, so I don't care about comic accuracy. It's just for me personally, what I've grown up with, because I'm an MCU kid.
Yeah.
Steve Rogers is Captain America, so it's weird everybody calling him Cap. It's just, especially giving them the exact same nickname that they gave Captain America. It's just a weird
That's
thing.
one of those things for me too. Is the last thing I know is Steve Rogers or what's his name? What's the
Chris
guy's name?
Evans.
Chris Evans.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And being Captain America. Obviously, Endgame ends with him handing over
Yeah.
passing the torch.
Which he
And
had.
I
was
didn't think
like-
he was gonna be Captain America.
Yeah, and I was like, that's
Like-
cool. I like the symbology
Yeah,
behind this.
yeah.
I thought that was really well done. And then they do this movie, and I'm like, ooh.
Oh, and you didn't even
They
watch
had
the
a
show
TV
there.
show.
You didn't
So,
know
yeah,
that.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
So he's been Captain America.
I guess
for a
it's
while.
kind of tough. I hop in and I'm like, oh, whoa.
But even me
This
as
is
somebody who watched
jarring.
them making the foundation and laying the foundation as him being Captain America in the show,
Yeah.
it still comes off fucking weird in the movie to me.
It
So
just-
and that's not something that broke the movie or anything that bothered me too much. I still was just like every time when he's walking through the bar, everybody's like Cap, cheers and their
If you,
drinks.
can't
I'm
buy,
like, this is
if
weird.
you can't buy into that, you don't know what the movie is going into it.
Yeah.
I feel like, because even I have to know, like, it might bug me, but 5 minutes in, it's like, dude, he's Captain America. They're
Yeah.
gonna call him that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's weird. So, but I enjoyed the movie overall. I thought there was some really cool action, especially with the boat fighting scenes. I thought
Those are
some
cool.
of that shit was dope. I always wonder how they're gonna have a non-superhero, like a regular guy, fight a Hulk.
Yeah.
They did it. It was fine. It wasn't bad like I was expecting it to be, but.
I think they did pretty well with that.
Yeah, it was short, which was nice, and I knew that going in. It's a short Marvel movie. It's under 2 hours, which is pretty dope, and I think that's because they had to cut a bunch of shit out. Yeah, there's not too much more I need to say other than that without going into spoiler stuff. But so we'll jump into spoilers. 3. I put up a 2. 3, 2, 1. Spoilers. So the Hulk and only being at the end was I thought it was good for the movie, but horrible for the trailers and marketing of this because it's like Hulk is everything. Hulk is the big
Yeah.
deal. I thought he was going
Yeah.
to come out 2 separate times.
You're gonna hurt people going in with who watch that and get the idea that you're gonna see more, and then
Yeah.
specifically because you don't see as much,
Yeah.
that's a dog on the movie now. It's not even that it's bad
Yeah.
how they did it. It's
It's
just
cool, actually.
you showed me that.
I think
really felt like I was gonna get more of it, and the whole time I'm sitting there and I'm like, they even tease it basically, and
Yeah.
you're like, I have to wait longer.
I think it
Ugh,
was
damn.
bad marketing.
That's,
Well, they needed something to hook everybody in and be like, okay, this is I'm super excited. I need to go see it because of this.
I think
And,
it's
like,
part of the
it ruined it.
it's part of the Marvels like the problem is they can't sell it without doing that.
I think
That
they
you
could've
have to
done-
do that to sell it. It's the only way I probably would have even gone in to see it was knowing a little bit about that does happen. I do get to see a Red Hulk at some
Yeah.
point, which is
They would have had
Probably the best part of the
to
movie.
change the actual movie because you need like a fake villain to like take the spotlight and then push the Hulk in there.
yeah.
Because if you have I don't even know what his name is.
The brain guy?
The brain.
Yeah, I don't know his name.
Anyways, if you have him,
Yes,
then
yes.
it obviously just ruins the whole like surprise. It ruins everything.
Yeah.
Like, that's your whole like freaking. Oh, you didn't think this was gonna happen? Full SmackDown thing.
The bad guy, I want to go into him a little bit because I liked him and didn't like things about him.
Is his
Um,
name Tim Blake Nelson?
It wouldn't even ring a bell. That's not
It's the
something
guy
that
from
ring a-
Holes.
Yeah, it is the guy from Holes.
It is a
so
lot of
so
other
do you know
things.
who this guy is?
He is the same actor from
The original, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and so is Liv Tyler was also the
And
original.
Liv Tyler
Yeah.
was Bruce Banner's love interest
Yeah,
in the
so-
whole movie
Well, I thought
with
she-
Edward Norton.
I thought
Yeah.
she died or something, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know.
So-
That's the weird part with the Hulk thing. So the Hulk thing is canon in the universe. Everything in that movie happened.
They
recast
reference it a lot.
Yeah, they reference it a lot, like very often. They recasted Ed Norton into Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
Do you know who the president, who Harrison Ford is?
I mean,
He's in the Hulk.
Yeah.
I haven't actually seen that
But they
movie in
recast
a
it.
long
He's
time.
But they recast
Captain
it.
I would,
Ross, and
I
he's
could
like-
see that because I know Harrison Ford's not in that.
Yeah.
Can you pull up the original actor guy?
He-
Because the original actor guy, sorry, I forgot his name. I don't have it off the top of my head, but he died in real life. back
I was
then.
gonna wonder why they recast.
He died. I think he had a
because
heart attack or something. But
He
so
was a really good cast. Of
he
that
was
character.
awesome. But he was the general in the original Hulk who sends
Recast
all the
him
military
twice.
on Bruce Banner.
Gotcha.
And Liv Tyler hates him for that, for attacking her boyfriend or whatever. But also now she doesn't exist, and they never really mention her. So there's all that weird continuity. It's weird. It's in the universe, and they made it all in the universe, but they did a bunch of recasting and a little bit of retconning.
The
so it's
Liv
all
Tyler stuff was so shoehorned in.
Yeah.
It felt like because in the end nothing happened with it. Like there was no reason other than you see him at the start be like, I miss my daughter, and then the whole movie goes by, and at the very end he's like, I get to talk to my daughter. It's like, but that didn't solve.
Yeah, they
anything.
didn't resolve anything. He just called her up, and she's like, "Hey."
Yeah.
He's like, "Let's go for a walk." And she's like, "Yeah."
So I think
And I was
that
like, "Okay, that was weird."
all I can see that as is just like, Liv Tyler's around. I bet we could pay her $1 million to show up for a couple scenes, and it's like, damn, all right, I guess.
With that budget, I bet they paid her 20.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
But okay,
yeah.
so one big other stupid thing, which we talked about in the spoiler-free section a little bit, was what does Hulk do? Like, what is Hulk's thing? How does Hulk always calm down in all the Hulk movies? His girl.
Yeah.
Or somebody that he cares about, somebody that he sees. He sees them while he's in a fit of rage and calms down. The Red Hulk is running rampant and destroying everything. And Anthony Mackie ends up he tries to do it once, which is weird because then that's dumb why it worked the second time but not the first time. But he just tries to he basically does the sun's getting real low big guy thing to him that Scarlett Johansson does to Mark Ruffalo. And Liv Tyler should have 100% been the person who calmed him down and made him come out of the rage. After Anthony Mackie tried tying it to Liv Tyler and his daughter and why he's doing everything for these reasons, and it failed, Anthony Mackie shouldn't have just gotten punched, got up, said the thing again, and now it worked. Liv Tyler should have come out and they should have dropped her in and calmed him down with that. That would be a real resolution to it.
And actually bringing her into the plot to have a point.
I agree with you, but I think it was supposed to be like a Captain America moment. 'Cause
Yeah.
that was like the whole point of the movie. It's like this is the new Captain America. type
I'll,
kid.
I'll just say it wasn't pulled off from my perspective. It, like you explained it, it does not make sense.
No.
He literally takes him to the place to bring back the memories to make him think like, remember your daughter. this is where you would go. Are you calm? Immediately he's like, nope, that didn't work. Okay,
Yeah.
fight again. And then he just gets up and straight up, it's now his turn to be like, oh, I guess now I make the speech. Or so, like
He said the same thing.
It's literally the same thing.
Yeah.
And then he calms down. And I could not, my eyes couldn't have been further in the back of my skull during that, where I was like,
I was like, this is dumb.
what the fuck? That
Not
was
my favorite
it?
part, yeah.
That was it? So it's that's weird. I guess that's where I'm like, I'm not a superhero guy. Some of these resolutions to some of these things don't always happen in the way that I'm like satisfied with. But
Let's talk about the Hulk fight though, because dude,
Okay,
they
this
did
is
some what?
that was one of my favorite parts of the movie. I think this is the best Hulk action scenes I've seen
Dude,
in general.
he is scary as fuck when he throws him through the all the sounding, all the booming effects, his clapping, the way that he moves through stuff and how it shudders everything. But when he punches Anthony Mackie through the trees when they get on the island, and then it's showing it from Anthony Mackie, and he lifts down his shield, and Hulk's face is right there. I'm like, dude, that's fucking
Oh,
scary.
yeah.
Like this is the scariest a Hulk's felt.
Because the original Hulk movie, I felt like they did pretty good action wise with that, and then ever since
the
then,
Abomination Hulk one, Ed
yeah,
Norton one, yeah.
mhm. Ever since that with what is it?
Mark Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo, I feel like it's just kind of been half-assed. Like he like jumps around, smashes something. He's like angry, but he never does anything cool.
He was best in the original Avengers, and I think since then
Yeah.
they just haven't really done anything.
Yeah,
and then they turned him
that's-
into Professor Hulk, and he hasn't had action since
Yeah.
then.
legit,
So,
the
And then
only
the-
thing is the original Avengers. I feel like from
Well, he's in Ragnarok.
Age of Ultron, the fight scene where he fights Tony in the big suit.
Hulk suit. That one's kind of cool. The
Hulk
Ragnarok
Buster.
one.
That
I
was
like
sick.
a suit idea though.
Huh?
I don't like it. What is the Hulkbuster suit?
Iron Man against Hulk.
Oh, that's
When
the
he's
Iron
angry.
Man suit.
Yeah, it looks like
That's
Hulk.
that fight scene was dope
Yeah.
and hilarious.
Yeah, I just watched that, but still, I thought this was way cooler. He freaking is just flying through air. He has the freaking Sonic Smash thing.
Yeah.
I think in general it was like some of my
When they
favorite.
smash down on the island and it all
Yeah.
the trees and everything, like everything he does, and when he punches Anthony Mackie for the first time, when he has the Wakandan energy absorption
Yeah.
weapon, and it's tweaking out because he's never had anything hit him that hard.
Yeah.
And so he's
Just
like,
instantly.
also it took him way too long to use that. Why didn't he use it the several other times that he had it? And
I
it
was
the
thinking
end
the same thing.
But it still would looked cool and it was good.
That hits a point of the Marvel stuff that I don't like is when you know how strong these motherfuckers are and they're not using their full abilities ever until the movie says so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I think I get really annoyed is like, okay, the movie starts out with Cap being a badass, destroying everyone, but then
Until he
there's,
fights the big guy.
and then yeah, and then there's so many moments where it just feels like I'll never get on board with movies doing the whole you knock someone down and then you got to give a speech, and in that speech the guy gets his one shot at you and you die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that is so.
Try to make it
frustrating.
just a little bit more realistic.
yeah.
Like-
Giancarlo Esposito's in the movie also
No
just
reason.
randomly just
yeah, he's
there.
all over in the trailers.
He's just
Yeah.
classic bad guy as he always is, which he's in a phenomenal actor, but he gets shoehorned into every just stereotypical bad guy now.
He should not
Yeah.
be that in a Marvel movie because he's
Oh,
too talented
He's
for
way
that.
better than that.
Yeah.
He was so better than just be a lackey, basically, for someone else. And who he also, I actually think that might be my favorite scene is when he just pops out of nowhere and starts ripping
Yeah,
down
just
every car.
yeah, jumping.
That was the
walking down
first. That was
street.
the first time in the movie I was like, something's happening.
Yeah. That's
Let's
pretty
go. Let's go. Someone's doing something. There's shit going on. I didn't expect it either. Let's go. And then right after that, he spills the beans and he's just
Yeah.
gone. And it was like, he's so much better than this.
He was just such a plot tool. Like
Yeah.
so. I mean, all characters are.
And then they give, I think it only made it worse when he came down to all they did was a moment with Cap and that guy, and he literally verbatim gives a full exposition of, here's everything.
Yeah.
And they just straight up say, here's what's happening. And he gives him all the information, and I was like, there's no stakes in this movie for me.
No, and they didn't even end up. He's like, "Tell me the information first," and then he's like, "I'll see you when you get out of prison or whatever."
Yeah,
I was
wait,
like,
what
okay.
did-
I was like, what
He was
else are they
like,
gonna
tell
do?
me. He's like,
He's negotiating
He was
with
like,
him.
full immunity. He's like, haha, I wouldn't do that. He's like, reduced sentence. Okay.
Yeah. He
Here's
just,
your
Well, he said, "Tell me the info first."
It's
Yeah.
just
Like,
so
absolutely.
weird.
he pretty much
was
just
weird.
wanted a cooler jail cell.
Yeah,
He wasn't.
he just wanted something a little better.
And then he is probably gonna escape if he stays in this series. He's probably gonna escape and then maybe be a bad guy. That's actually worth something.
I think
later.
it'll always just be a problem when I know that nothing will equate to what Endgame and Infinity War did.
No, that's
So
the
it's
problem
hard
with
to
having
buy
something
in
so
at
great.
all to any of it when I actually was bought in and felt the pressures. Like, I feel like you can feel the stakes in the other movies a lot more. And that's
Yeah.
what held them up so much more, was you always knew there is something looming, like, in the background. And in these movies now, it's like,
They haven't really had that in a while. They're trying to.
What's the new thing? And it's like, God, well, how many fucking years is it going to take to figure this shit
I think-
out? And how many
It's gonna be
how
long.
many movies do I have to watch before I get to
Yeah.
like the good shit?
I
That's
think
tough.
Fantastic Four will change that.
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
I think
because
that
there's
will
a
be the
big-
biggest
big
one
bad
as
there.
well.
But back to this. I want to talk. This movie's kind of fucked up. The dude taking over people and him going and assassinating those or
Yeah.
shooting the dudes into prison and then killing himself in a Marvel movie. I was like,
That
that was pretty fucked up. That's why I kind of like the bad guy too, is because he actually does fucked up things and he actually kills people. That's one thing I hate about Marvel movies too now, and watching them so much, is that they can't kill people, so they just throw a vibranium shield at their throat and it
Yeah.
bounces off their neck, but they didn't die. So
Doing.
totally, yeah, just doing, they're knocked out.
Oh, shit.
That stuff always annoys me, but that's just Marvel movies. I just have to get over.
That's just super
Get over
weird,
that.
at least in general.
But the bad guy really kills people, and he does it in a pretty fucked up manner and taking over people. So Isaiah Bradley was this special ops secret project where they had made another super soldier after Steve Rogers, and that's Isaiah Bradley. But there was some, like, I was gonna say subtle, but there was some blatant, obvious, like, racism stuff that they were tying it to in the show and saying, like, they can't have a black man be Captain America,
Yeah.
which in the 50s probably.
yeah,
Uh,
because you gotta think the actual captain is frozen for years, lost. They want a new person to put in that place. Should have been Isaiah, but
Yeah, so he did a bunch of secret jobs and did all this stuff for the president, for the government, did all these things and helped him out. And then they threw him in jail and, like, basically turned on him and, you know, put a bunch of false information on him. So they put him in solitary confinement for 30 years. So he gets out and
Seems pretty normal for a dude that was in solitary confinement for 30
yeah,
years.
definitely 100%, especially 30 fucking years.
Yeah.
But he's a super soldier, so maybe he's special.
and he's
Uh,
supposed to be like, yeah, super just, super good person type deal.
Yeah, and so he's in the show, and it's actually probably one of the better aspects of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier TV show. That part was actually pretty cool, and I thought pretty well
Who's the
done.
Winter Soldier?
The Winter Soldier is Bucky, a guy
Bucky,
with
the
the
guy
metal arm.
with the metal arm.
Which I thought it was fun to see him in this movie. I didn't
Did
think he was gonna be in.
He is the one character out of any of the other Avengers who I genuinely know zero about. I have no fucking idea who he is. No.
Oh, dude, that's one of the best ones.
I don't know who he is. I don't know how he got in the group. I don't know why he doesn't have an arm. I don't know why he's important.
You should watch.
Like,
you
so much
should
of it.
watch
You'd have
that.
to watch
You should
all
watch
of
the
Captain
no,
America's.
no. You can just watch
saw
the
the
Winter
first
Soldier.
one.
He's in
He's in that movie.
He's his best friend.
Yeah, he's the guy who gets
When did that come out?
2010 probably.
Probably that's the last time I saw it.
Yeah.
You should watch The Winter Soldier just because of the action in that movie and the espionage, and, like, it's a lot more grounded, not CGI shit. It's fun and
That
cool.
was really good.
More John Wick-esque, I would say, as a Marvel movie could be, which is still very far from John Wick, obviously. But
Speaking of that, the freaking revolver, 12 shots.
I know that was ridiculous. I
Shot
knew
the
I was
hatchet-
gonna
shot
say
the
something.
hatchet out of the air.
Yeah, it shot the hatchet out of the air. That
Literally
was
as it
ridiculous.
was coming at him.
I love when the non-super people are doing superhero type stuff.
Oh, okay. So Anthony Mackie, he is just straight up normal. He's not a
got no
super
powers.
soldier.
It's the thing that annoys me the most about his character is he should have serum or something, because he's just, how is it believable that he's doing this shit when
Getting
he's
punched by Hulk.
In the fight with Giancarlo Esposito, he gets stabbed in the right here,
Hey,
right
yeah,
here,
Kevlar.
and then he has a pick put in him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, he has Kevlar. How the fuck am I supposed to know that?
They tell you.
Hey, they
later.
told you.
When?
What do you mean? Oh, they told you in the movie. They said it.
Yeah.
When?
Giancarlo Esposito and Anthony Mackie were talking and doing
Yeah.
the
Oh, really?
negotiating
Yeah.
thing. He's like, yeah,
Kevlar?
it's rare that somebody comes back from a tomahawk in the stomach. He's like Kevlar, whatever. Thing.
Okay.
And it's like, oh,
I guess I did miss that, and I'm glad they said something
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
in my mind I went, wait a minute. Wait a minute. This guy who's a normal dude just got stabbed twice
Yeah.
yeah,
and then fought him off, and the way he finishes him off,
is a
stabs him in the chest.
well.
and he's
before
got a
that,
fat fucking vest on.
before that, he does the super donkey kick.
Yeah, but he has a fat fucking vest on.
Yeah.
And he stabs him, and he's like, ugh.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's no fucking way. There's no
Falcon
way.
is- he's
what
like-
the fuck is this shit? Like,
The things he has going for him is, like, beforehand he was picked to be like the best of the best soldier, the best this, that, but he's still just a normal dude. So I think
It's
they
like
should.
Black Widow.
either A, have a way cooler suit that he's wearing all the time. I hated that he was not in the suit like 90%.
He was not in it very much.
Okay, maybe that's the issue then. Is like in superhero brain, I go suit on, you're protected.
Yeah.
Suit off, you're not. But
So-
I guess if you're smart enough to
Yeah.
be like, ah, bulletproof all the time, bitch.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
But he has like a nano freaking high tech suit from the Wakandans. It could totally just be like straight Iron Man and flick his
Yeah,
fingers.
because
it's
his
on.
helmet does that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why is that not a thing? Or B, freaking just get the freaking shot.
They have to have stakes sometimes, but it's stupid because if you make that have the stakes, but then you still can't die because you are wearing Kevlar, it's like I don't know. It's always weird, but it's breaking into the nitpicking of movie shit too much, and
That's more of like
it's just stupid.
Well, that's what's
movie
tough
stuff.
about
my problem
superheroes.
about the actual Captain America character as it stands right now versus this movie. It's just a thing they haven't resolved, and I wish they would.
Yeah, it's weird. So it's him going back and forth with that thing the whole time. I want to talk about the battleship scene because honestly, this was my favorite. I liked it more than the Hulk one. The Hulk one was dope, but this one, I thought the choreography and what they did and how he used. Dude, when his little drone came off his back with his shield on there and was like mimicking the bullets and deflecting them off them, I was like, that makes sense because there's so many moments where he's using the shield as being bulletproof, but his 60% of his body is showing behind the shield. So why aren't the bullets hitting his legs or like his hips or anything like that? And so I'm always like, that's so dumb, and I don't like how that they can block bullets with that. It needs to be a bigger shield.
Yeah.
But the idea of a AI little drone like being able to react and move to where the bullets are to deflect him while it's chasing him and moving through the air, I thought that was sick as fuck. And he has the thrusters come out to adjust the plane. Like he did a lot of, they did cool ass shit.
Did Red Wing have a voice in previous movies?
I think it
like-
does in the comics, but it doesn't in the movies.
Like Sunday and like Jarvis? No?
No.
Okay.
I hate the Falcon kid.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought he was fine.
Hate that guy.
He was, when he first came on,
Not the actor.
Yeah, the
like
character.
whoever the character they gave this dude nothing but
Oh,
quippy
like
like
the lines.
I'm just a fucking retard.
it's called Marvel.
Yeah, that's the shit
Marvel
I
humor.
can't
Yeah.
stand sometimes where I'm like, so you're telling me this guy is gonna be the next best thing. This dude who is stupid enough to walk into the goddamn gym and be like, old man. And the dude, how does he not know who Isaiah Bradley is?
No one does.
No one does?
He's supposed to be a secret unless you're in the government
Yeah.
and
What the
stuff.
fuck?
But because that's the whole point. Because he was just shoved under the rug.
Yeah.
Whatever. Either way, yeah. I
So
didn't like him.
Oh, it was fine.
Or I didn't mind him as much as I thought I was gonna, because when he first comes on and he's doing the quippy stuff immediately straight out the gate, I'm like, oh god. When he does the superhero land where he twists in and then has to say a Marvel like camping line, I'm like, oh boy, I'm not gonna like this guy. But he ended up growing me a little bit. I still didn't like love him or.
You just felt like, oh,
He
he's
was like-
the new kid on the block and he's like super jazzed about everything, but he's cocky
Yeah.
airplane pilot type dude.
It's so hard for me in Marvel movies to really get invested in emotional and stuff, and that's what I wanted to say. A quick tangent about Isaiah Bradley, dude. When he starts crying about the certain things that happen, and he's saying, "Dude, I can't go back to jail," when all the cops are surrounded, and he comes out of the haze, I'm like, I buy that this dude was in solitary confinement right now in this moment, and that he is tortured by it, and that he does not want to do this, and how afraid of it he is. And a couple of times that he cries because you can tell he just cares and like just hates this shit.
Yeah.
I was like, this dude's a pretty good actor. This is always the hard part with tangents because I was going back and I don't remember
Aircraft
exactly what I was saying, but I was,
Aircraft scene. How was
No,
your
not
favorite?
that, but about the Falcon character.
Oh.
I was gonna say something about his acting. That's why it made me think of Isaiah Bradley. But
Mm.
yeah, the aircraft carrier scene was pretty cool. So I'm glad that they finally talked about the Celestial again because that took way too long.
What is
Adam-
that?
It's
So
a-
in the Elementals, a Celestial.
Eternals.
God, you probably. Or yeah, in Eternals, you probably
Actually-
don't even know what a Celestial is.
Oh.
No.
They are like.
I don't think I can really explain this to you.
How
They're
the fuck
they're
am I
cosmic.
supposed to know?
I know. Well, I don't know what you've seen and what you haven't. That's why.
Well,
Have
that's
you
what,
seen like Guardians?
I guess what I'm expecting is how do they like. I don't know. It's the hard part about Marvel is if you're not fully caught up, there
Yeah.
is genuinely no way to just go in and watch a movie and be like, yeah, like you're just gonna end up walking out. I feel like me just being like, what the fuck?
There's some that you can that aren't as engraved, but this one's supposed to be a big movie that's supposed to tie in a lot of things,
Yeah.
so it makes sense for this one.
Anything
for
that's
you.
like this versus that, I feel like you gotta watch a lot because you're taking two different universes, melding them together, and trying to like get everything from both of them. So you'd have to see like all the Captain America stuff and all the Hulk things
The Elementals was God damn it. The
Eternals.
The Eternals was a movie about all these superhero ancient beings that are like protecting Earth, and Celestials are giant cosmic beings that live inside of planets, and they get born from planets, and they stopped it from being born out of Earth. So they ended up stopping it, and it turns out that Celestial is made out of adamantium, which is what Wolverine's skeleton shit is made out of. So it's a new precious metal in the universe, so it's a big deal. But the Eternals came out probably 10 to 15 movies ago.
That was another.
It's at least 10.
It was between Endgame.
It was after
and-
No. Oh, was it
Yeah, it was in between the two. I think I just.
between Endgame and No Way Home?
Yeah.
Okay, dude, that might be 10. I might be including
If you include TV shows, and
But it's been a long time. It's been 6 years since they've even brought that up, and there's been this giant cosmic being coming out of the ocean, and they haven't brought it up or acknowledged it. Really.
I don't know. It's like I can tell. Like I can't. Well, it feels like I'm coming across as like super cynical, and like I obviously don't enjoy it. But I'm trying to find ways to figure out how I could get into this, and it's like.
Oh, you're
I
way
swear,
too
I
late.
swear, I
That's a lot.
remember the old, but I remember Phase 1. I swear you could watch a movie and you wouldn't be this confused.
Well,
No,
you
hell no.
have
There's
way
been
less
50
behind
movies.
you.
There's been 50 movies, or something like that.
Does it have to be that like? Does it have to be this convoluted?
Yeah. Kind of.
Well, that's the problem with post Endgame is why even people like me and Gavin have fallen off a little bit because it's not put together very well anymore.
Yeah.
It doesn't have an end game. It doesn't have a plan at it. It's not all building towards something. They've been trying to find what they're building towards for a while, and they finally started to decided to do that with the announcement of Doctor Doom and like all that stuff and Doomsday. But
Bring it back.
that's supposed to come out in 2027.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that's only 2 years. I don't know what the hell. Like
I think
and
it should
that's supposed to be the next big thing.
Fantastic Four. I didn't realize that I can't remember.
Galactus,
No, the Thunder.
Doctor Doom.
No, the Thunderbolt one.
Oh, Thunderbolts.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was coming out.
Yeah, dude, that comes out before Fantastic Four.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so there's already 3
I
Marvel
feel like
movies
I've
this
been
year.
seeing trailers for that movie for.
I also
Yeah, that
don't
one's been in the
think
works for a while.
that Black Widow's sister looks like the same actor either. She looks like she gained some weight. Or
Florence Pugh. She's just kind of jacked. She's just
looks
kind of a
way different.
yeah. She does look a lot different in a lot of movies. She was in Oppenheimer
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
when they had just that weird scene where they were just naked talking to each other. I was like, it was a weird
Yeah.
scene.
That was weird.
Great movie though.
What were your issues with the movie? I'm curious if they're the same as mine.
Marvel-y stuff. So I still am. The Marvel humor is really starting to bother me now. How nothing can just be serious. When Bucky says that emotional line or that little speech to him, and then they immediately have to make a joke about it
Yeah.
right after he says it. That stuff is just so hard for me to be like bought in and serious and believe it.
Nothing serious. Like,
Yeah.
ever.
Everything. There's no. Yeah. No like
Unless
really hardcore stakes.
someone like your literal significant other or child or parent just passed away, you'll get 5 seconds with it, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard.
That's Marvel stuff, so I'm used to it, but it still bothers me a little bit. I thought the pacing was really good. It was short. There's probably a bit too much going on, but I kind of knew that's how it was going to be going into this because of
In
the
the
shit
middle,
show
it
of
gets
creating this
crazy.
movie.
It gets
Yeah.
wild
So
in the
much
middle
happening.
where it's like, what am I watching a Captain America movie? Am I watching a movie about Harrison Ford as the president? Am
Watching
I
Brain Blast Boy?
Yeah, am I watching the Hulk movie?
Are we watching a political movie about creating treaties with countries?
Yeah,
it becomes a lot.
Is there like political messaging now that is really like happening? It's like towards the middle when it's still like hiding things from you.
Yeah.
It gets a little crazy. Where I was like, bro, I don't know what the fuck is
I thought the
happening.
bad guy looked cool. I thought his makeup was good. What didn't you like?
The bad guy.
I already told you I liked the bad guy.
I know. That was my thing I hated, I didn't like about the movie. I thought his power was not my favorite.
It's kind of dumb. Probability.
Well, not even probability. The brainwashing thing was what bothered me the most. It's like, how do you just
I don't like that.
a sequence of
Of course
lights
I know.
you're brainwashed all of a sudden, and then
Well, they've already had that in Marvel.
yeah, but it
with
was
Bucky.
always like, hey, you were held in a jail cell and like for
Yeah.
years,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden that makes more sense.
Maybe he's perfected it over here.
This is like, hey, there's some lights. All of a sudden you're like,
I think
gotcha.
I could even buy in more with the guy just like so is it his brain that has the gamma?
Yeah.
And so he's like super smart because of it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Therefore he's able to like he has all the brain scans of everyone. I would think it's somewhere along the lines of
Yeah,
like
that's
he's,
true. I guess he
he's
does have
smart
that.
enough to know
Yeah.
how to do things to everyone's specific.
And it's been
brain.
done
No,
before.
Like, yeah.
That's how they explained it. I just didn't like it.
Cody wouldn't know this either, but this isn't like a new thing they introduced
Yeah.
in this movie. Bucky, the dude with one arm that you saw, that was his whole thing in the
This
Winter
is
Soldier.
pretty
so
much
mind
Winter
control.
Soldier
Okay.
did it better. They had like a doctor who's super evil and like pulling the strings. Yeah, and he's like Hydra. Anyways, his whole thing, same deal. They play music, say a word or whatever. It's a whole like Russian double spy. You don't know you're a spy until someone says a phrase, and all of a sudden you snap and whole different person.
Oh,
So-
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that whole thing was like my least favorite. The actual actor who plays the bad guy, not my. He didn't have any scenes I really enjoyed him in.
Yeah.
He didn't get anything to do. He literally just stood there and talked.
Yeah.
That's
So
it.
it's literally everything else I thought was pretty good. I don't care about the Marvel stuff being Marvel-y. I just suspect it at this point.
Yeah.
It doesn't really
Like I said,
phase
I'm
me.
used to it, but it doesn't mean it doesn't bother me. Still,
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't just go, oh, God,
Yeah.
why did you do that?
Honestly, I don't even notice it. But
Good for you.
the bad shit guy being a not very bad guy, like took this from being like a great movie and just made it a good movie. Where I'm like, I really,
Wait, who? The brain guy?
yeah, like I really enjoyed this, but I didn't think it had any. It wasn't like the Winter Soldier where I'm like, that's a really good bad guy. I really
Yeah.
like what he did there. Blah blah
Yeah.
blah. And then the whole ending too just felt like we were really, really building up to something, and then it was just that's it.
Yeah,
It was quick, but it has to be.
went
He can't go
fast.
on a
Yeah.
prolonged fight with the Hulk because he's a normal fucking person. That was the whole thing with like going into this movie. Like, how is a normal guy going to fight a Hulk?
I would have
Also, I think
rather have
he's-
seen a lot more Hulk. I would have rather have seen halfway through the movie Harrison Ford turns into the Hulk, and then the whole second half is how everyone deals with that.
And that makes sense,
And like
especially
the
you-
world
Yeah.
has to deal with it.
Yeah, that makes sense, especially for you saying like, oh, I probably went to see this because of that.
Yeah.
And I kind of knew that it wasn't going to be that just because I kind of knew a little bit about it
Yeah.
going in.
I think that would ruin future movies for them because like now the whole world is at war actually. Because if they don't stop the war, then you're just fucked for all the other movies.
There's something. Okay, if a Japan, if a Japanese fighter jet fired missiles onto a U.S. military boat
miscommunication
with
Cody.
the president
It was
on
a
the boat,
miscommunication. They did it.
there
well.
would have been World War III happening. The buttons around the world are getting smashed by
Yeah,
the
I
leaders.
don't know how they were.
That's
like,
that
more crazy.
that was a
about
hard
something.
thing where they're like, oh, it's just we just fucked
Captain
up.
America saved
Bruh,
us, Captain.
Japanese
Wait.
air fighters just fired missiles on the ship that the president of the United States is on, and they hit it. They fucking hit it, and we're like,
Kinda.
oh well. World War III happens right there.
You
Has
asked
to.
me-
No, it's
Has
different
to.
in the Marvel
You're
universe.
in the Marvel universe.
They've been invaded by aliens.
espionage,
Half the
bad-
population disappeared.
You can just suspect that there's like an agent in your party
Dude.
that's gonna kill you somehow.
The only like this is where it gets down to is the only way to convince someone like me is I want to see like the R-rated. The next movie needs to be R-rated, and it
Logan.
needs to be the humans versus all the superheroes. I just want to see.
That's X-Men.
But
not.
it's not going to be rated R. It's not going
No,
to be
but
like.
I
that's
wanna-
like the concept
but
of
that's
X-Men.
X-Men.
I don't want any of the messaging that's like, but they're really good. No, I actually just want humans going against superheroes, and the humans are like, "Fuck you, we do not want you," and the superheroes
That
are
is
like,
X-Men.
Shit, yeah,
That's
like,
what's cool about X Men. If they do X Men well in this, I'm
Yeah.
so excited.
well, I guess I hope so. I want to see the superheroes as like legitimately the bad guys and always the bad guys, not a la like the boys, because that you know going into it. I do want to see the superhero movie that's like, fuck it, Captain America. Like I don't know. I just need more. I think I'm never gonna be like if Captain America died at the end of this, I probably would give this movie 3 more points because it shows
Stakes.
something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Something did happen.
You should build the Avengers.
Great.
Which
Again,
I don't know what that's going to
Who's
be.
the Avengers now? You got Spider-Man and Captain America, Ant-Man. Widow's dead, right? Yeah.
who are the Avengers?
Like original?
How many are there?
That's what I'm listening
It's
right
just
now.
everybody.
So it is everybody.
and- and-
so the Avengers
it's not-
aren't just Thor,
No.
Hulk,
It's
Iron
No,
Man,
they are. They are.
Black Widow, and
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye,
Hawkeye,
Those are the original ones.
right?
Yeah.
Like
Hulk.
and Hulk or who? Yeah.
I
That
think-
when I think of the Avengers,
That's them.
Yeah, that's him.
It
You have
gets
to-
expanded and people die or people leave and others
It's
join.
okay. You
Tony
guys,
Stark has to be like your Avenger now. And that's pretty much it.
you guys tell me because you probably know more in the story. But like, why even call it the Avengers?
I was being dramatic. They're not all Avengers. There is an Avengers team.
Well,
Yeah, there is.
do something like call it something new. Like,
I agree too. Just like Captain America should be not Captain America. It should be something new.
I don't know. I guess yeah.
But yeah, it's confusing, and they're not going to get rid of that because that sells, and that's too big of a name. They're not going to just not call the
Well, I
Avengers.
think in the
team
comics,
they
they
need a movie to be
called the
called that.
Avengers. The whole
Well,
time.
there's a whole bunch of different teams and stuff if you dive into the comic stuff,
But I'm just confused, like, because Thor's done, I think, right? Captain America's done.
no, I think there's going to be a Thor 4.
You think with his kid?
I don't know yet, but there's definitely talks of it.
Guardians, they split up at the end of Guardians.
James Gunn's gone. They're not doing another Guardians. I
Yeah.
don't think. I hope they don't.
His
That'd be
own
annoying.
thing.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Superman looks good.
Iron Man's
I think it
dead.
looks good.
Cap is dead. So you literally have like Spider-Man, Ant-Man.
Yeah, I don't know because like I
Yes,
said,
Captain
they changed it in
Black
LinkedIn, and I don't know where they've
he's
come.
dead.
He's dead.
Yeah, he's really dead.
Yeah. Well, the girl.
Isn't there a new one?
Yeah.
It's
the-
his little
someone
sister,
take the
but that's
mantle?
yeah, his little sister.
She
Yeah,
should
but-
be in there.
well, no, because she had some political stuff. She made people mad.
Oh, really?
Also,
I didn't know
yeah.
that.
So when they
Also,
came
that
to-
movie wasn't very good.
I did not like Wakanda
Mhm.
Forever. I cannot believe that two nations fighting was one boat and then some people in the water. Two nations with their full armies and force was a boat and some people in the water. One boat. I hated that.
I only watched that once, and it was not my favorite.
It wasn't bad, but it wasn't that great. It definitely got bonus points just because of, unfortunately, the Chadwick Boseman stuff. So, but
Also, the Black Panther universe is sick. Like Wakanda, they like made them
Yeah.
look sick. They have sick music. They have sick sound effects.
Yeah.
Sick theme songs. Everything from the first one, and then they kind of just.
all right, let's not go off on too much of a tangent.
Sorry.
We already have, but are there? Oh, I wanted to bring up the fucking Black Widow chick. She's clearly got some sort of body deformity thing.
Weird.
right?
Another weird.
But
one.
she can just decimate. Like she's short. She's got some
really-
like her torso is really
She's
short.
literally
she's
like
got
4
some-
foot.
Yeah,
Like,
and she's
so
just
short.
destroying these
Yeah.
these grown men, which also is Marvel stuff. It's fine, but
Yeah.
I wanted to bring that up just because I thought it was funny when I watched the hallway scene of her fucking up all those dudes, and they stand up and they look at her and they're like,
Yeah.
I thought she was gonna have a superhuman ability because
I
dude,
do too. The
in the
first
fighting
scene, the
scene,
fight scene with the.
I was so confused in that fighting scene.
She's a
Assassination.
super soldier, right?
No.
Nope, she's a
She's
Black
like
Widow,
Black Widow.
which is just a highly trained assassin.
Yeah.
She doesn't have any
that just
spirit.
dropped this movie down.
Yeah.
I thought she was a
She's
super
a Scarlet.
soldier.
She's a Scarlett Johansson, which
Oh,
are Black
yeah.
Widows.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I thought she was a super soldier.
Me too, because it made her seem like it in the.
Dude, I
initial
swear to
scene.
God, there
I
was-
swore she punched someone and they went flying.
Yeah, I
across the room.
swear to God. I swear there was a punch where she like launched someone.
Maybe there was a throwaway line that we missed, but they said she's a Black Widow, which means
Yeah.
she is a normal, highly trained assassin,
Mhm.
like like Scarlett Johansson.
Unless, like, I thought for sure, like, hey, you have Ross, right?
Thaddeus Ross, the president.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like has to do with this gamma stuff and like super soldiers. Like, hey, gave a little serum to the freaking Black
Yeah.
Widow chick. Now
Yeah.
she's like
Yeah.
uber strong.
Now and that's like, hey, good security.
Then that makes sense.
That
and
makes
you guys
sense.
are both tied from the same thing, so you
Yeah.
both have that connection.
Yeah, sell. Then apparently she's not. I don't know.
That was bad.
Unless
That
we
was
knew
bad.
some like missed something.
That's possible. I don't know. All
Oh
three
my
of us
gosh.
missed it though.
I would say the only the whole rest of the movie I didn't think she was superhero, like super soldier, but the first scene where the president's supposed to get assassinated, it looked like she was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then the fight,
the hallway fight.
the hallway fight was all of
Yeah.
a sudden she's just wrecking.
That's pretty Black Widow-ish.
So, but like, man, that's tough.
Have you-
That's tough, dude. I'm sorry.
That's Cody fucked up.
They've not sold.
Scarlett Johansson looks like she could fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This girl does not look like she.
No.
The only if she's not a super soldier,
Mhm.
I'm genuinely mad about.
I will
that.
say also
Genuinely, I'm so mad about that.
Scarlett's sister, also the lady from Oppenheimer.
I believe she can fight too, more than this girl.
She looks like she can fuck up people.
Yeah, it's
She looks
Florence,
like an MMA.
Florence
Yeah.
Pugh. I
She's
look
fucking-
at and she's like bulky, like she's
Yeah.
stocky and
Yeah.
built. So I'd be like, she could fight. This other girl, you look at her immediately. If that's the point, I get it. To be like, she's unassuming.
Yeah.
You look at her, everyone talks to her like, you couldn't do
Yeah.
anything.
That's
And
the
then she
whole
kicks ass.
Black Widow like cult is like, hey, they're women, so you don't expect very much of them. They'll kick your ass, blah blah blah. But they
Yeah, that was interesting.
That one was weird.
the hallway one was fine for me. I didn't mind that. That's like every Black Widow.
Yeah, it was.
And
It was. I
What
agree.
are
I
your
agree.
thoughts?
It's a little bit. It's different with her though because she's so tiny.
What is there a thing called? It's not Black Widow. It's like Red Room or
No, it's the Black Widows.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, alright.
Yeah, they said Black Widow. Yeah, they said Black Widow in the
I
movie.
thought
Black
they said
Widow
like
too.
Red Room or something.
No,
like that.
there might be some other stuff. That movie wasn't very good either. Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson. I don't think I have too much more here. The intro. Yeah, it was dumb that he fought the one big guy. What we were talking about and alluding to earlier, Cody and I, when obviously you have to open up these movies with the main hero just fucking everybody up and kicking
Yeah.
ass. He fucks everybody up, kicks all their asses, probably like 20 guys in like
This is
10
pretty
seconds.
Sick.
And then he goes in to find Giancarlo Esposito, and he throws a shield at him, and Esposito dodges it like a badass.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "You got another problem to deal with." And there's this really tall guy that's behind him. I'm like, "Oh, this is gonna be a super soldier. And it's gonna be having to him,
Just a
gonna
buff
be
dude.
him having to overcome a super soldier." But no, he just starts getting his ass kicked by a big tall guy when he just beat up 20 dudes all at once. It's always like, "God damn it, can't you just like just those little things?" But it's always funny when you do these reviews of movies because you're gonna break down things and get in depth and you're gonna be nitpicky about stuff. And I'm like I said, Cody is, but I'm Gavin and I aren't negative on this movie. I enjoyed this movie, and like I said, I went in having pretty low expectations. So coming out and like enjoying it and actually thinking that the action was cool. I thought the story is a bit more engaging than I thought. I thought this was the best Hulk version of fighting that we've ever seen. It was really fucking
It looked
cool to see.
fantastic.
Yeah, it was awesome.
You know who's gonna love this movie?
Matt.
He's
Yeah.
gonna fucking be like, that was the best thing I've ever
Yeah,
seen.
he's gonna.
You guys,
she's gonna say that.
you guys
you're
doubted
so
it?
picky, you fucking nerds. Yeah, Matt was
So
drunk.
picky.
Matt was drunk and ranting to us, and
Yeah.
Gavin and I were talking about like, oh, we don't have very high expectations. He's like, you fucking nerds, are so goddamn picky. I was like, dude, do you even know anything about this movie? And we explained it to him how it's got all these.
I
reshoots
didn't
and how
even know
expensive it
anything
is.
about that. I just
Oh, you didn't know about that? Oh,
no. It's
well,
just
I explained that to
Marvel
him.
in
And
general.
he's like,
I
oh,
don't really think it's gonna be that.
yeah, because it's not as good as it was.
The
I wanted to have Matt here, but
yeah.
it doesn't work out that way sometimes.
It's
Sorry,
not-
Matt. Sorry, Matt. We're bringing you up again and talking shit about you, but
Yeah.
that's
Yes,
that's just the way it is.
In the end, I know it's not my thing. I kind of knew this is what I would say.
You actually don't get to have an opinion unless you've seen all the Marvel.
Yeah,
movies.
exactly.
Yeah,
Right
you
there.
idiot bitch.
But yeah, obviously, for someone coming in who does not know what's happening, it's a little.
Yeah.
Especially in this movie. This movie more than most.
It's a little confusing at times, and it's like it's hard to get Anthony Mackie convincingly as like Captain America.
He needs a serum. He needs to be fucking roided up.
It's not even that for me.
He fucking said it himself in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like Bucky was full of shit. I
Yeah.
should have gotten that serum.
Well, dude, like,
It's not gonna help him much versus Hulk though.
no, but like the buff dude, the buff tall guy we were just talking about in that first fight.
Oh yeah.
He should have been able to just kick his ass with super serum, but he's just a normal ass dude without his suit on, without his wings. So
he
he's
should
just,
be able to kick his ass no matter what because he's got the fucking suit on.
He didn't have the suit on. He didn't have the wings. That's like the whole suit.
Didn't he?
No.
In that, with the big guy.
Oh, he took it off to
He
fight
took off
guy,
the
didn't
back as soon as he goes in the building. He has
He
a
did.
shield and
So why would he do that?
I did
Why
to,
the
to, to
fuck?
make to make stakes.
Why
to
the
make,
fuck would you take off your suit before you walked in to
make-
find the bad guy?
they're
make
too big.
stakes.
He can't be fighting in a big building with these big ass wings.
Hey,
All right, that's enough for now. Captain America, Brave New World. What did you think?
So
Leave a
what are you
like.
gonna do it?
I said 7 out of 10.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Leave a like, comment. Let me know what you guys thought down there. And let me know if you're excited for any of the other Marvel movies that are coming out. Obviously, we got a pretty decent range of scores here, which is kind of what I was hoping for. And I like.
Honestly, I'd probably put it as 7.
Cody's
now that
fucking
we
pumped.
talked about
I'm
it more.
pumped.
Yeah, I put it out at 7. I think it's
This
definitely
just
7
8
out of
is
10.
like where I put like.
8's pretty high.
That's where I'm putting like Spider-Man's and like some of the.
Yeah, this is
Guardians.
not it. Yeah, that's not this.
not that.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. Go out there and check it out for yourselves if this is the kind of stuff you're interested in. Because, like I said, I think it was better than I expected it to be. With that, all of you guys have a good rest of your day. Bye bye.